And Guy McSqueezy's back, guys. It's been a couple months, but today I'm hitting you with my very first game review, and it's going to be Destroy All Humans Remade. The first thing I want to talk about is the visuals. This game looks great, especially when compared side by side with the 2005 original. It's actually mind-blowing to see how far technology has come in the last 15 years. So, when I first got out of the saucer for the first time, we landed at Turnip Seed Farm, and I instantly noticed the foliage. It's dense. There's dead leaves crunching under your feet as you walk and falling from the trees when the breeze blows. There's old rusty trucks and tractors sitting off in the weeds that look like they haven't been used for years. There's old houses and barns, and when you jump on them, they creak. The NPCs are actually doing daily things, like sometimes they'll just be sitting on their porch in a rocking chair. Some of them are out farming the fields. And if you do happen to attack these people, they will pull their own weapons on you. It's not like the cities where there's law enforcement. So, another thing, the cities and towns definitely perfectly populated. I don't know what Black Forest Games did here, but they did it perfectly. You'll never have a shortage of NPCs to torment, destroy, anal probe, read whatever comically asinine thought is in their head. So, next item, the visual effects. Your telekinetic powers when you lift a cow up. Oh, it looks so amazing. They glow with an orange aura. Or, my personal favorite, from the original, if you'll remember, when you're using the disintegrator ray and you shoot some humans, it'll leave their skeleton behind. Their flesh melts right off their bones, and it looks even better than it did in the original now with all the visual effect upgrades and technology these days. So, my next item is gameplay and stability. Now, the arcadey combat is amazing. I love it. Once you unlock the ability known as SKATE or skate, it really opens up. So you can upgrade it. Every ability has 3 upgrades. There's 2 different tiers, 2 different things you can upgrade on it, but there's 3 upgrades each. So once you get that fully upgraded skate, you can skate forever and ollieing over things and riding and shooting, and it's all just so much fun. I honestly just killed hours running around these settings and it just destroying all humans. The name of the game, you know. All the original areas from the first game do make a return here, and I was very happy to see that. There's a lot of added things that they've done, like challenges, skins, new voice lines, NPC models. There's more variations of buildings and whatnot. And I guess that's really it for the gameplay aspect. It's a pretty simple game. The mission structure is another point that I want to talk about. The mission structure is well done in this game. Well, it's not always varied and different. It's fun. You are kind of always doing something a little bit different, but it's always go here, destroy this, go here, kill this, follow this car, follow this NPC. Where this game does actually kind of shine, though, is the infiltration missions. The level design and the setup for the infiltration mission, especially at Area 42, is very well done, and I give the developers a lot of props because they did it well and they knew what they were doing, and they have done their research on this game. They've done the research, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So, gameplay and stability wise, gameplay, I think I already tackled that. Stability wise, now this is where the game lacks a little. So, in my experience, it's not too bad. I didn't encounter any game breaking bugs. Not a single game breaking bug the entire playthrough. I'm probably 90% of the way through. I'm a sucker for challenges and open world and doing whatever the hell you want. So there is a little bit of skipping. Sometimes frame rate drops. It seems like the game is locked at 120 FPS for me. I'm running a Ryzen 3800X with a 2070 Super, and it never went above 120. Locked right at 120. So sometimes when there was a lot of things going on, explosions and whatnot, that can happen in games a lot. The frame rate would drop down to about 50, which is by no means unplayable at all. I mean, we've all been there. If you're my age, I was playing on PS1. That those frame rates were horrid when you go back and look at them today. So, the most noticeable detriment in this game though was when I was in the saucer. Sometimes it would skip 150 to 300 frames, a second and a half to 2-3 seconds at a time. But it wasn't very often, and it wasn't every time I was in the saucer. So I don't know what they got going on here. It might be something that could be patched out with a bug, stability issues and whatnot, smoothness, polish, whatever you want to call it these days. It didn't happen too much, and when it did happen, it didn't get me killed. It didn't make me run into things. It didn't stop the game from moving forward. And that's really the point here, is that it didn't stop the game from moving forward. Today, you guys know, we have a lot of games being released. People get 2-3 days into a game. Even if it's just a remaster like this, $30. Not even a full $60 market price. It wasn't game breaking. And a lot of games that are released today are game breaking. People will get a couple days in, and they'll get this bug that the developers have to patch out, and they're on Twitter and they're rushing around to get these patches out and stuff. You're not gonna get that here. So, what also it's an old game. It's only about 8 hours long. $30 for 8 hours. It really, depending on who you are, it depends for me on the amount of fun I get, for the amount of hours I get. And, for the amount of fun I got here was way up here, amount of hours way down here. So, it's kind of a win-win. Not really much you can do more with an already made story. And, I love it, man. They've redone a lot of dialogue throughout the story. The story is still 100% to a T of what it was in 2005. And I guess that's it for the story. So, this brings me to my overall thoughts of the game. I'd probably give it 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Mainly based off of the visuals and stability. Because it's really, those issues I was talking about weren't a big deal. They weren't game breaking. Nothing stopped. The AI at one point was a little buggy, which I'll show you here. And as you can see, they're just running in this building, and it seems like they know where I am, and they won't leave. And they just keep repeating, what are you doing here? And what's going on? And, the dialogue can be a little repetitive. There's not very many options for NPCs dialogue. But not much you're going to get out of a 15-year-old game. And what they have updated well. They have added a little bit of variety into the NPC dialogue. They've changed a lot of dialogue throughout the campaign, because I went back and watched some old footage out of the campaign, and boy, was it cringy. So they've kind of streamlined it a little bit more for, 2020 and whatnot. And it's looking great, feeling great. I had a lot of fun with the campaign, and I can guarantee you that you'll be jumping back into the world of Destroy All Humans long after the end credits roll. I gotta give it to Black Forest Games, man. I know I said it earlier, but they really did their research here. I can almost guarantee you that they scoured every line of the original code, and they definitely went back and nitpicked every little aspect of the original to get it right here, guys. If you want someone remastering your games, you want Black Forest Games. I promise you. Because a lot of things, like we're hearing a lot about Mafia 2 remake and Assassin's Creed 3 remake, like I brought up. Alright, let me just give you guys a personal story here. So I bought the Assassin's Creed 3 remake, or actually I got it free because I bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey Gold Edition. Well, let me tell you a little something about Assassin's Creed 3 remake. The original version looks much better than the remastered version. I will go back and 100% play the original on a 360, PS3, Game Pass, PS Now, whatever you want to call it, because I don't know what they did to that game, but the textures, all facial textures, look like a smooth wall, and I just don't know what they did. Moral of the story here is that these guys did a phenomenal job with this remaster, and I can't wait to see if they're going to do 2 and 3. I'm really hoping here for a full trilogy remaster, and I believe there was a game that was released on the Wii. I vaguely remember playing it on the Wii when I was a kid. I got one when I was like 15, 14, something like that. So, I'm really, really, really excited to see where it goes from here. Maybe they'll add some DLC. They've already added another skin pack that you can buy with the game. It's an extra $10. Skins obviously don't do anything, but I think it's more about supporting the creators here. And THQ is still publishing it. They've owned the rights ever since it was created, but the developers here are what really shine. We all know THQ. We all know what they can publish and put out, and they're great. I want to talk about Black Forest Games. This is the first time I'm hearing of them. I haven't heard too much about them, but this is a great first impression on the gaming community for Black Forest Games, and I hope they're around for a long time to come, because if they produce every game that they make like this remake, you are not going to be disappointed. So that's really about it. I think I've covered everything, guys. This is Guy McSqueezy signing on for the first time in 4 months. So if you want to continue supporting me here and you want to see more of this and what I'm doing, and you want more game reviews, please, if you're seeing this on Facebook, like and share. If you're seeing this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can see when I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys next time. It's Guy McSqueezy signing off.